When you pick up the van, yeah, before you set off, you need to fill in the sheet, okay, and do a quick walk around the vehicle to make sure it's safe to drive. For every journey that it's taken, you need to note what the kilometres, start kilometres are. Yeah? You put the date, the time, where you're going, your name and your signature, that you've checked all these things are working, and put a tick if there's any actions or something's wrong. Put it in this box. When you reach your destination, yeah, put in the mileage. Yeah, if you're going to and from the fire station, yeah, one sheet is enough for the entire day. Okay, so you don't need to fill a second sheet in for the return journey, but just make sure that we've logged the kilometres at the end and how many kilometres you've actually done. Very important. If you don't do it, I get nagged about it. So when you pick the van up, yeah, the battery will be off. Yeah, nothing will work. So you have to switch the battery on. This is the battery compartment, so the driver's side door. Only one of these locks actually locks. At the moment, this is shut. Yeah, it's the one nearest the front. You turn it round and open it. Sit up like that. This is the switch here. It's in the off position. You just turn it and it engages the battery like that. Shut it back down. Lock it on that front one and make sure it's locked. Okay, so when you have turned the battery on, yeah, to drive the van, especially if it's been stood a while, you need to wait a second sometimes. What we do is you turn the key and the lights will come on in that position like that. Okay, sometimes you want to wait a second just for it to the battery to engage because it's been off for a while. Turn the key and the van starts. Do not worry if it starts beeping. These two dials here are your brake pressure indicators. Now, if the van has been stood for over a week, I'm going to turn the engine off. If the van has been stood for over a week, these will not be fully charged, and you may have to wait 5 minutes. If you try to set off before that dial gets past this area here, the lorry will not move. It will feel like the brakes are stuck on. The handbrake is effectively very, very simple. You release, we start rolling forward, and you pull it back. That is the handbrake. Yeah. So the release, lift it up, forwards, pull it back, and that engages the handbrake, and the van will not move. Gear lever is quite stiff. First gear is useless. You can use it, but you're changing gear after about 3 or 4 seconds of accelerating. Other than that, indicators are in the right position, same position on the left, windscreen wipers on the right. The lights are here. They are not automatic, so that beep is because the engine's off. If that beep is going on, you need to switch the AE lights off. Hazard warning lights are here, and there are mirrors all round the van. Other than that, it's like driving a car.
Go.
There are 2 keys to get into the van on the key ring. Both are kind of these ones here. The important one is this one here. You will need to push the door in to open it. Now at the moment the door is unlocked, but the handle is not unlocked. So you need the second key to unlock the handle. This is where the mistake happens. The door will open, yeah. Make sure that is always in the open position, because if you shut the van down there and you've left the keys inside the van, you cannot get inside. Yeah, I've made this mistake before. Should you do it, there are some spare keys in the cup holders. So make sure that handle, when you open it, stays in the unlocked position. There is a little thing there to stop the door from opening and close it from shutting. When you want to close up the van, slide it, lock the handle, and lock the door itself. To lock the door, you will need to use your shoulder just to push it in and lock it like that. You need to open this tap here, the one that says fresh water tank fill tap, and you turn that all the way till it's open, anti-clockwise. Now, once that's done, you can go outside. You'll have to shut the door, connect your hose, and start the water flowing in. Once the tank is full, water will start pouring out of the driver's side. You'll see it fall, dripping out. You can then turn the tap off because you know it's full to the brim. You disconnect your hose, wind it back up, come back in here, and then turn this valve all the way clockwise, and that will seal that hose loop in. Okay, this is the water unit. You can open it like that, and that clicks up. Be aware that once this is up, you cannot get into the van. Okay, so because the door slides out. This is the wastewater. Sorry, the wastewater is water discharge tap. You will turn it like that, and water will discharge. Do not touch this unless you are over a drain. The cold water is filled via a hose that connects to a hose lock. This has quite a bit of cable. Inside the van, there's under the seat there are various taps to turn to allow the water to move into the tank. But this must be connected, and then you have to set it up in there. So if you ever want to drain the cold water out, this is the valve here. You open that by turning it counterclockwise, and water will drain out of the system, and then once it's drained clockwise, tighten it back up. You can check if there's water in the tank by removing this lid. At the moment it's empty, and it's right down the bottom. Okay, make sure that if you do that you screw this back on. Also, make sure when you are filling the tank that this is completely sealed, or else water will go out of there and come out of here, and you will have a flood. Okay, this is the controller for the hydraulic legs. When you open this, you will need to switch the system on, which is that red key. The lights will come on. Down here you have 4 levers, and each lever tells you which leg it alters. What you do is you just push the lever down, and the legs start. You hear the noise, and when you hear the hydraulics kind of change tone, that means the leg is engaged against the ground. You can do that with all legs. Again, make sure when you are putting these down that there is nothing underneath them, or that whatever is underneath them will get crushed. And to retract the legs, pull it back. When the tone changes, you know the leg is back in its position. As a word of caution, make sure before you drive off that all the legs, you've checked visually that all the legs are fully retracted. Once you've finished, turn the system off and all the lights go out. Generally, when I've plugged all the cables in, I tend to press this button here, this green button. This just resets, it's a trip, and everything should come on. If you're having any trouble with the electrics, it's likely that one of the fuses has gone in one of the plugs. Make sure this is always on cable 2, because we are running 2 cables into the into the surgery. Sorry, so make sure that's fixed on number 2. Anything that blows is on the trip board there. Connecting the van up to electrics, there are 2 cables and there are 2 electric feeds into the van. This cable here with the yellow lead goes with this box here. This one with the caravan plug, as I call it, goes to the back here. Now, the key to open this one is the small key. This is the small key that opens all the lockers around the van. So in we go, open it up, and inside you will find a plug. This is what will plug into there, and then you will run that cable into the building to plug into the mains in the building that we're servicing. The back locker is slightly different. The key to opening this back locker is kept in the cup holders in the van. This is where it must remain all the time. If you lose this, we will kill you. This key here sits in there. So, this locker says danger 2240 volts. We open with the key. We keep the key in our back pocket, and caravan, as I call it, female bit goes in there like that. You'll need to unwind this cable, yeah, and have it plugged in, yeah. There is an adapter included with the van that plugs in there. So once you have connected up, you can shut this, lock it, and then put this back in the cab in the cup holder. If it's raining, you can run this, put this under the van, taking care that it's away from the hydraulic legs. So on the van, if you have someone who is disabled and cannot climb up the steps, we have a hydraulic lift. The way this works, it will be in its permanent position in the lowest position, so the steps are fixed. Should you want to use it, you lift it. It won't open up at the moment. Lift it up a touch with the up button. This comes out to form a platform. Again, when you lower this, make sure there's nothing underneath it, toes or anything like that, because it will crush them. You can lower. The patient will step on, and up they come. Be they on a wheelchair or just not able to climb up steps. Once it's right at the top, you can actually engage this thing as well to stop wheelchairs falling off. So once they're up to the level, they can walk in, and you can put it back down, yeah, if you like, or leave it up for the patient to leave. When the patient leaves, they don't have to go down the stairs. You can drop them down in their wheelchair, or if they're stood up, and then they step off. So obviously we want to put this back to where it was before. So minding your fingers. Grab it at the end there. Oh, it's stuck there. That's it. That goes in, slams in like that, and then lift it up. To the position you want it in. So it's all the way down. That's it, into the position. Waste bins will be empty when you first get there. Clinical waste bags are located in here. So when you arrive, one of the first things you need to do in here is to line one of these. There is also another one in the corner here. Line those with a clinical waste bag, and that's to be removed at the end of the session and left empty as it is now. So to warm the van up if you're in the winter, or to cool it down in the summer, this is the air conditioning unit. The isolator switch is up here to turn it on and off. Okay, if you want heat, you put it on low heat and you put the temperature and it will warm the room. If you want it to cool you down, turn it all the way around and click it round. It's fairly simple. The important thing is to remember there is a heater on the wall by the door. Do not use this as it trips fuses really badly. Yeah, you will trip fuses all day long with that. This is a diesel heater. Okay, to turn this on, just click the switch, yeah, and turn it round to maximum, and it will heat the van through the venting system. This bottle will be empty when you come onto the van. You unscrew it and fill it with distilled water. There will be a supply of that on the van. So you don't need to waste distilled water. Half full will be enough. And screw it back in, and the compressor will come on automatically once you put the electricity in. So the compressor will be working. Make sure that's tight. Switch there turns the air on, and check it then with the 3-in-1. Okay, to clean the suction filter after a session, which is quite important, you remove the hoses. You'll have already run these through with the Oratol, so the suction pipes are laid down on the floor, and you pull this section out. Okay, be sure to be wearing gloves. This is clean at the moment. I'm going to wash my hands afterwards, but the filter is on a little spike just in there. And you pull it out, give it a good rinse out, empty all the bits and pieces in it, shove it back in, and then this sits back in the hole. Reconnect all your pipes and put them back on the. Okay, so the van moves, yeah, which means that if drawers are left unlocked, yeah, when you arrive at your destination, yeah, everything will be over the everywhere. So all the door cupboards open with a push button, like that. The drawers are locked. In order to open them, you turn the key. So there are several drawers. There's these ones here. These are locked. Turn the key. Do not remove the keys. Leave them in. And these open. Same with this one here. Again, drawers are locked. Turn the key, drawers open. The cupboards all have push button entry. Before you set off, whoever's driving must go round and make sure every drawer is locked. That the X-ray unit and the light unit, the chair light, are secured to the wall, and that all the drawers and cupboards are in their closed position.